You don't know when this crack began. Maybe it all started from the very beginning, from the day your brother disappeared. It was when he was only 6 and you were 10. You remember sitting in that room, feeling the world around you lose its outlines. At first, no one could find him. The cameras didn't record anything. All the doors in the house were locked from the inside. The windows were locked too. And the room was in that strange disarray, as if he had turned everything upside down himself, like before he left forever. As if he had tried to cover up all his tracks. And you, in your childish naivety, kept looking for him. Everything seemed impossible. Your mother had gone mad with grief, and your father was an alcoholic. But you decided to hold on, hoping that one day you would open your eyes and he would come back. But the more you tried, the more hope faded. And the more time passed, the harder it became to remember his face. You tried, but it slipped away like fog. 15 years passed. And then, one ordinary day, when you were sitting in your apartment and trying to concentrate on work, the doorbell rang. You opened it and saw him. He was standing on the threshold, dirty with tear-stained eyes, with a limping gait. An adult, but in his eyes there was still that frightened child you once knew. He did not hug you, as you expected. He just looked at you, with the same bewilderment, with the same expression of fear that seemed to never leave him. He said as if nothing had happened, "You are not me." You could not believe it. Your legs buckled. The words fell on you like stones. Was it not you who led this life? Was it not you who lived in this body, experienced these emotions? Was it not you who lived through this horror? He told you everything that had happened to him all these years. He was in the hospital, isolated, locked up. He did not know what was happening, but he remembered how one day he started seeing your face in the mirror. And every time he looked in that mirror, he saw you. Not just a reflection, but you. You were there. He tried to talk to the doctors, but they said it was impossible. They said he was hallucinating. You were in shock, but your brother showed you a photo. It was of you, lying down, on an IV, in a coma. It all seemed incredible. You were sure that that day, the day he disappeared, was the starting point from which it all began. It matched. You decided to figure it out. You had to understand what happened. How was this possible? Where had your brother been all these years? You went to that very hospital, Center 6, and that was its name. You tried to find it on maps, but it wasn't there. The directories were empty. You thought something was wrong, but when you entered the address into the navigator, it plotted the route. The navigator knew exactly the way. You pulled up and felt uneasy. The building looked old, the sign was peeling, and the guards looked at you emotionlessly, as if you didn't exist. You said you were looking for a patient, your brother. One of the guards pointed to the elevator, silently, without a word. There was only one button on the elevator. No labels. You pressed it, although you doubted it. The elevator began to rise. Everything was strangely quiet, and you felt the tension rising. Cameras hung from the ceiling like ghosts. The floor was gray. It seemed like time had stopped here. A silent room, the light that flickered and then stabilized again, like a failed attempt to imitate normal life. You walked on, and there it was, room 07. You opened the door. On the bed lay you, your body. Everything was as you remembered, your face, the scar on your arm. But something was wrong. Your body was paler, and your skin, it was not yours. It was as if she belonged to someone else, and on the table stood a tattered phone. You walked up to it and saw one message. "Kill her, today." You grabbed the phone. It was turned off, or at least not charged, but suddenly the screen lit up. It turned on, and there was a single contact on it, Curator. You ran to look for a doctor, but the corridors began to change. The walls moved, as if you had ended up in some kind of labyrinth where time and space lost their meaning. Cameras were watching your every step, as if you were in some kind of nightmare in which it was impossible to find a way out. And then you saw this message on the wall, YOODDELKA. You realized with horror that you were not who you thought you were. It was all a lie. You were a fake. All this time you were living someone else's life. You ran, but the ward was gone. The elevator disappeared. You found yourself at home, lying on the floor. In your hands, that same phone, and a new contact. Completed. Wait for the next target. You didn't remember what happened. You tried to remember, but you couldn't. And worst of all, you started noticing strange things around you. People you knew were disappearing. Coworkers, a neighbor. Someone suddenly didn't show up for work, and new photos started appearing on your phone. You didn't remember when or where you took them. One day you returned to the hospital, but it was empty. Everything was quiet. There were no signs of life on the walls, not even light, just you and silence. And again the guard, looking through you. The elevator and two buttons. You, he. You press you, and you see yourself entering the room. You lie down on the bed, you connect to the IV, you close your eyes. You are a patient, and the one who was reading this is already up. But then, in the mirror, you saw her, sister, standing behind him in his reflection, his double. She begged for help, her voice weak, almost inhuman. Please help me. He's killing me. He took my body. He's killing me, and you're doing nothing. Tears were streaming down her face, and you saw her struggling in the mirror, but her hands didn't reach you. He was standing behind her, his double, your double, with the same terrifying gaze. You stood there mesmerized, watching, not knowing how to react. He was killing her, and you, like her, were just a reflection. You stand there staring into a mirror that's no longer a mirror. It's become a boundary between what you thought was you and what now sees you from behind the glass. He's there, and you're here. But only now do you understand. It is he who controls what is happening. He decides what happens next. You slowly back away from the mirror. Your heart is pounding as if in a trap, but you do not hear it. All you hear is the ticking, slow, heavy, somewhere nearby, echoing as if time has become a physical sound. You look for the source, but there is no clock, no metronome, only this sound. And suddenly you realize it is inside you. It is ticking in your skull, in your bones, like a countdown. You walk into the living room. Everything has changed. The room seems longer than before. The walls recede into darkness. You can't see the ceiling. The windows are covered with curtains, but light seeps through them, unnaturally red, like blood that has been diluted with water. There is a portrait on the wall. You don't remember hanging it. It is you, but not like in reality. There are no eyes in your portrait, only empty black holes, and your lips are sewn together with thread. You feel sick. You turn away and rush to the bathroom. You grab the sink and turn on the water. Ice cold. You look in the mirror. Number, not again. Now you are the same eyeless one. You recoil. The mirror cracks. Waves run across it as if its surface has become liquid. And in the reflection suddenly appears her, sister. She is standing behind you, all in blood, empty eyes, skin as if frozen. You want to turn around, but she is only in the mirror, only there, and she whispers, "He is coming. He is already with you. He is using you." You clutch your head, voices, one after another. Men's, women's, children's, all in your voice. They all speak at once, screaming, whispering, singing, laughing. You are not you. You are just a shell. Where were you when it all started? Your whole body is seized. It's like your nerves are burning from the inside. You fall to the floor. You grab the walls, the tiles, but your hands slip. There is water on the floor, red. You scream, but there is no sound. You are mute. You scream inside your head, and the voice sounds in every wall, in every object around you. You wake up in your bed, and for a second it seems it was all a dream. But your pillow is wet, with blood. You turn on the light, and you see it. On the wall, on the ceiling, on the mirror, the same word written with a trembling hand. Come back. And under it, he doesn't want to leave. You run to the mirror and see him again. He's in your room now. He's not in the reflection anymore. He's standing behind you. Before you can turn around, he leans over and whispers in your ear, "We share the same skin, the same mind, but only the same body." You lose consciousness. You wake up in another body. Everything is alien. The hands are not yours. The eyes see at an angle. You try to move. It doesn't work. And at that moment, you understand. You're back in the hospital, attached. Sensors, flashing lights, tubes. You're inside another person. There's a screen on the wall, a video recording, a surveillance camera. And on it, you, or rather he, in your body, is sitting at the table and talking to the doctors. He acts confident. He's sure of himself. He's telling your story, your life. But he does it better than you ever could. They believe him because he's real. And you're just a mistake now, a parasite, a glitch in the mind that will soon be erased. So said the doctor, looking straight into the camera. There is only one projection left. It is stuck, but we will achieve full synchronization. One mind, one personality, one shell, and you hear the door open behind you. Footsteps, 5 steps, silence. He enters. He sits down opposite you. "I have almost taken everything," he says. "All that remains is to cross you out, and I will be the only one." You want to scream, but your lips do not move. And then you hear her again, "Sister," whispering right into your skull. "He did the same to me. He erased me, but I remained. Find me. Inside. I hid." You feel something begin to scratch inside your brain, as if someone is digging a tunnel from the inside. And then you see, behind the mirror, behind the glass, another face, too similar to yours, too familiar. He doesn't move, he just stares. Through the glass, through the walls, through you. His eyes are empty like inkwells. But in those eyes you suddenly see yourself, the real you, the one you haven't seen in a long time. Tired, exhausted, the one who gave up. He doesn't move. He just stares. Through glass, through walls, through you. His eyes are empty like inkwells. But in those eyes you suddenly see yourself, the real you, the one you haven't seen in a long time. Tired, exhausted, the one who gave up. He doesn't speak, but you hear his thoughts. You're not the first, not the second. You're just a layer, one of many. He's peeling you away like skin, one by one, until only he remains. You want to ask, who is he? But there won't be a question, because you already know the answer. He is you who once chose to run away. He was born the second you lied to yourself for the first time, when you pretended the pain was gone, when you resigned yourself, when you decided it was easier not to remember, not to recall. He fed on it. He waited. And now he is stronger than all of you. You notice the room is getting hot. The plastic melts. The paint runs off the walls like runny skin. The whole space begins to breathe, to pulse, as if alive. The ceiling is lowering. The room is shrinking. The walls are closing in. "It's too late," he says. "No," you hear your sister's voice. "If he remembers, he can still get out." And suddenly everything freezes. One flash. You're standing in the hallway, that same hallway, long, endless. The walls are lined with doors. All the doors have numbers. All the numbers are your dates, your birthday, the day you were first scared, the day your father died, the day she went missing. You walk. The doors shake past you. Some moan. Some call your name. Whispers, threateningly. You reach the door marked 0. You open it. There's emptiness, absolute. A silence that makes your ears ring. Just you. And the screen. On the screen. You. On your knees. In front of the mirror. Crying. He is behind you. He puts a mask on you. You do not resist. You hold it yourself. You press rewind. You see how you have allowed him to push you out time and time again, with small concessions. It's nothing. Everyone does it. It doesn't matter. It's just protection. Now it's all clear. You open the door for him yourself. You let him in yourself. He is your lie. You stand, and you understand. If you want to get everything back, you need to go to the end, to the very last room. You walk. The walls begin to groan. There are cracks under your feet. You hear the floor break. Everything collapses as if reality can't withstand your awakening. And there it is, the last door. Your name is on it, but written backwards. You open it and fall through. You are in that very room from the very beginning. He is opposite. He smiles. He holds a knife. You are unarmed. You'll lose anyway, he says. I'm the result. I'm the defense. You're the mistake. You're too sensitive. You're too alive. You take a step. He raises the knife. You close your eyes. The flash. You open them and sit in front of the mirror. Again. But now it doesn't reflect. It absorbs. Slowly, like ink in water, a face appears in it. Her face. Sister. The real one. He's still here, she says. But now you know how he lives. You look away and you see all of them. All of you. All of the versions. All of the people who've ever lost. Standing in a circle. Silent. Waiting. You turn back to the mirror. It's empty. You're the only one left. One question, are you him now? You sit in front of the mirror. It's normal again. Cold. Without movement. Without a whisper. In the reflection, you. Tired. With shadows under your eyes. With shaking hands. Everything seems to have quieted down. Everything is gone. But inside, something's wrong. You slowly touch the glass. It's hard, cold. You smile, almost with relief. And at that very moment, the reflection does not repeat your movement. It stands. It looks. It no longer copies you. You freeze. The reflection raises its hand and runs its finger across its throat. Slowly, suggestively. You stand rooted to the spot. Then it moves its lips. You do not hear the words, but you read them, clearly, visibly. Now you are in the mirror. You rush back, stumble, fall. Your whole body trembles. A knock on the door. 1, 2, 3. You rise with difficulty and go to the door. You ask, who's there? The answer is silence. You open the door a crack. There stands you. Exactly. Only in his eyes is there emptiness. Like in that portrait. He tilts his head and says, found where you hid. He takes a step inside. You try to close the door, but you can't. He enters. You step back. He looks around as if he were returning home. Takes a cup. Sits on the couch. Flicks on the TV. As if he's always been here. I warned you, he says. Only one of us can be real. You scream. You grab the knife. You throw yourself at him. He disappears. Everything disappears. You are alone again, and only the mirror. It is alive again. Now you are in it, with sewn lips, without eyes. And behind your back in the reflection, your sister looks at you, silent, and whispers with her lips, you took my place. The light goes out, and the countdown begins. But the 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You open your eyes. Everything around you seems blurry. Space merges into gray spots. The floor is not a floor. The walls are like smoke. Everything slides. Everything is distorted. But the worst thing is the silence. It is not dead. It hears. And it is not yours. You are in the mirror. You understand this when you see it. All the objects are familiar, but distorted. Your childhood room, only upside down. Photos, the faces in them are elongated. The eyes are crossed out. Books, all the pages are blank, except for one phrase repeated over and over. You have always been here. You hear breathing. Behind the wall. You come closer. You see an eye. It looks through a crack in the wallpaper. You step away, but the eye moves after you. You run. The corridors are endless. They have no corners. They repeat. Every door is yours. Every door is someone else's. You open the first one. You are behind it. On the operating table, a surgeon in a mirrored mask approaches you. He takes out a scalpel and says without hesitation, let's cut out the truth. You slam the door. The second one, you are standing on the roof. The wind tears at your face. You are holding your sister's body. She is no longer moving. A voice behind you. You pushed her. Don't pretend. Bang, next. You begin to understand. The mirror does not show fiction. It shows what you have been hiding. All these scenes are you. This is everything you have been running from, everything you have been hiding, and with every step there are more of them. You lose yourself. At one point you hear how someone is breathing in unison with you, but with a delay. You turn around, no one. But on the wall is written, you are not alone, you are next. Next, you approach the mirror at the end of the hall. It is not you in it. It is a girl, small, with eyes like an abyss. She says, I need to go out. Who are you? I am the one whose place you took. I didn't know. I didn't want to. You never want anything. You just don't interfere. And at that moment, the mirror begins to crack. The count goes, Naneth, 3 dots. You run. But now the corridors don't lead out. They lead inside themselves. The rooms open themselves. You are drawn inside memories that weren't there. Or were. Who knows? There is no chronology here. There is no you here. You open the last door to get out. And there, the audience. You are in the theater. Hundreds, thousands of people are sitting in front of you. All of them are wearing mirror masks. All of them are looking at the stage. You are on the stage, the hanged man. You're in the audience. You're on stage. You're applauding yourself. Erendu, and suddenly, one mask turns towards you. It's her, sister, without a mask, with eyes like a mirror, with a face that's alien. She whispers, now you're behind glass, but the glass is thinner than you think. One dot, 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 crackling. Everything goes out. Darkness. And then an eye opens. Yours, just not in the mirror. On the phone screen. You look at yourself through the front camera, but you didn't turn it on. And someone on the other side of the screen smiles and writes, you left the camera on, thank you.